What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 10. Yes, we're into double figures now in the series. This is episode number 10, and we're starting today's episode off with a game in the Championship here, taking on Reading. And this is also the last game of the first half of the season, if that makes sense. So after we played this game, we would have got through the first half of the season. I didn't even need to explain that was obvious. But anyway, we take on Reading, and of course Reading are one of the three Premiership sides that got relegated last year. We've beaten QPR, we beat them 1-0, we beat Wigan, we beat them 1-0, so now we're hoping to beat Reading by 4-0. But no, we take on Reading, and of course at the moment we're sitting in third place as we're just approaching the halfway mark, and we're doing pretty well at the moment. You know, I said before I started the season off, I don't think automatic promotion will be possible, but looks like I've undersold myself a little bit. We're playing really well, and it's definitely a possibility now. We've just got to keep winning these games and try and push Brighton out of the automatic promotion place. I still think QPR will be champions no matter what, because their side is just too good. But I'm surprised by how good we've done for our type of squad, really. But anyway, Reading took the lead, and it was Sean Morrison who got the goal. One of our old Norwich players in our last career mode, in the current gen career mode. If anyone watched that, Sean Morrison gets the goal there, and he was just sitting there thinking, you should have re-signed me for this career mode. So Morrison gets the goal. It's 1-0 to Reading. But straight from kick-off, we give the ball to Michel Weiser. Nice little fake shot to get around his man. Nice agility to get around Wayne Bridge. Crosses the ball in, and it's an absolutely wonderful ball as well. Steve Morrison gets the header, so a tale of the two Morrisons, Steve and Sean, they both got a goal each, and it's Steve who gets the equalising one here, so it's 1-1, we're back on level terms, and what a superb ball it was by Weiser, but it's 1-1 here, and in the 25th minute, a good chance for Reading, but the volley went wide after the clearance was made by our goalkeeper Nyland, but straight from the goal kick, Trotter collects the ball here down the right hand side. Eventually the ball comes to Henry, who gets barged off the ball, but he gets back on his feet, plays the ball through to Steve Morrison. Morrison takes on Gorks, beats him for pace, gets past Sean Morrison. It was really interesting seeing those two battle each other, Steve and Sean Morrison, but eventually Federici made the save, and Ryan Gould put the shot over the bar, so still 1-1, but in the second half here we started off really brightly, and straight from kick-off, Carrasco's on the ball, finds Liam Trotter. Trotter gets past his man down the right hand side, rolls it off to James Henry. Henry eventually gets past his man Wayne Bridge with the drag back, crosses the ball in, and Carrasco's header is brilliantly saved by Federici. I've been really good at making my crosses really accurate this year, you know. I've been really good at making sure they're really, really good and into a dangerous area. But we win a corner. James Henry stands over it. Henry crosses the ball in towards header Mark Beavers. It's headed up in the air. Comes to Nicky Bailey. Bailey finds Ryan Gould, and the shot is quite poor. And Ryan Gould, like he's been a decent player for us. He's been a decent signing, but he hasn't really lived up to the potential I was hoping for, you know. But anyway, still 1-1 here in the 75th minute. Nathan Ake off the bench down the right hand side has all the time in the world to keep on going. No one's going to catch him. He crosses the ball to the far post, and again, that is exactly what I've been talking about with my crosses. Like, I mean, I know crosses are OP, headers are OP, etc, etc, but when you can cross a ball like that, it looks so good when the attacker connects with the header. That was a great ball, completely bamboozled the defenders, and it was a simple finish from Morrison. So 3 goals, all scored by Morrisons, and thankfully it was Steve who came up the better of Sean by 2-1. So Steve 2, Sean 1 in the battle of the Morrisons, and we collect the 3 points as we end the first half of the season. So a very, very good win there. And we go straight into the following game against Birmingham City away at St Andrews here. So taking on Birmingham, of course, they were the side that came to the Den a couple episodes ago. You would have seen, or maybe in the last episode actually, I'm not sure, but they were the side that came to the Den, and Darren Randolph, the goalkeeper, put in the most insane goalkeeper performance I've ever seen on a career mode series. It was ridiculous. The guy made so many good saves, and it was going to be very, very difficult to beat him on his home patch, I was sure. But we look at the league table once again, and we're trying to keep pace with Brighton and QPR. QPR got 52, Brighton got 50, and we got 46 points. So it's going to be difficult to get ourselves back into the automatic promotion places, but we're doing our best to keep up with them, and consecutive wins really do help, of course. But the first chance of this game came in the 7th minute. Shane Lowry, our left back's onto the ball, rolls it through to Michael Ngoo, who was the only goal scorer in this fixture, the Den. Ngoo comes forward, takes aim. It's a really decent save by Randolph, and I was thinking, oh god, not again. But the clearance only came as far as Lee Martin. He took a couple of touches and rifled the ball into the bottom corner. What a fantastic strike by Lee Martin, and thankfully this time, as Randolph pushed it over Chaplow there, thankfully this this time we beat Randolph pretty early on, so we're 1-0 up here. And in the 39th minute, Ngu gets on the ball, nice tackle, goes down the right-hand side here, keeps on going, eventually crosses the ball to the far post, and Liam Feeney, what a goal that would have been. A lovely bicycle kick, really acrobatic attempt there, but it just goes wide of Darren Randolph's post, and it's still Birmingham 0, Millwall 1. But just before half-time, Shane Lowry's on the ball down the left-hand side again here, finds Liam Feeney, lovely touch to get around his man, then goes through the centre. What a lovely piece of agility, beats 3 defenders in the end, and blasts the ball into the bottom corner. That was a great goal by Liam Feeney, who is, of course, out of contract in the summer. He's been turning down our contracts, as you've been seeing. He's turned down 2 or possibly 3 contracts we've offered to him. So he's clearly making a statement in this game. He's not saying, I want you to sign me. He's saying, I want a club to come in and sign me, He's not saying, I want to sign a new contract with Millwall. He wants to go to a better club. So Feeney making a statement there, and that was the right way to do it. What a fantastic strike after a nice run, and it's 2-0 here. But in the 45th minute on the stroke of half-time, Richard Chaplow finds Feeney once again down the left-hand side. Nice step over. He was tearing things up on the left wing, rolls the ball through to Lee Martin, looking for his second goal of the game. Randolph makes the save, and Ngu really should have done better. That was a poor attempt. He was off balance, yes, and he's a big lad, so he's got to sort his feet out, but he didn't really do very well there, and he should have scored. But it was 2-0 at half-time, so we were doing a lot better in the previous fixture against Birmingham. But in the 48th minute here, Birmingham on the ball is Peter Lovenkrantz, who chips the ball over the top to Eardley. Wonderful first touch and a great half volley there, but it went over the bar, and I'm sure Nyland had it covered, but even so, still 2-0. But just past the hour mark, another great through ball to Eardley. He was the target man up top here. He goes through 1-on-1, really good chance here. What a fantastic challenge by Alan Dunn. Ambrose then shoots, and Nyland makes a really, really decent save there. So it was still 2-0 just past the hour mark, and that was also how the game finished. So I was very pleased to get back-to-back wins once again. Of course, Birmingham was such a difficult side to face at the Den, but I was pleased to put 2 goals past Darren Randolph in the first half and get the 3 points. So as I said, we need to get consecutive results if we're going to get to the automatic promotion places. Like we had a sticky patch of form a few episodes ago, and it really did cost us, because we sunk from automatic promotion to just inside the playoffs, and we really do need to maintain this current run of good form if we are going to get automatic promotion. But the following game was against Bolton Wanderers here, and this is always going to be a difficult game. As I've said, Bolton are the side I struggle against on FIFA so often, and I don't know why it is, but they're always such a difficult side to face. But we have caught up with Brighton almost. We're only a point behind them now, as they're sitting in second and we're sitting in third. So winning this game could potentially see us move up to second, and that would be fantastic news for us. But as I said, taking on Bolton, that's always a difficult task. Even without BEGOVIC in the side, it's always quite difficult. But we did take on Bolton, and the first chance game in the 15th minute here, it was Bolton who came forward. Jermaine Beckwood, how about that for an audacious volley from just inside the area, but it did go over the bar, so still 0-0. As Nyland's looking pretty confident here. Still 0-0, but Bolton give the ball away here in the 55th minute. James Henry's onto it, takes aim from just outside the area, but the shot hits the post and goes wide for a goal kick. So not many chances in the first half, and not too many chances in the second half either. Here's a good one in the 82nd for Bolton. The 82nd minute, Andre Moritz is that down left hand side, crosses the ball in, and David Ngog goes in with a header, beats Justin Hoyt in the air, but can only put the ball past the goal frame and out into the stands. So still 0-0 here, and in injury time, the last chance of the game fell to us. Marcos Lopez on the ball, didn't really know where I was going. Bolton pressed me pretty well, and I took aim from range, but it went harmlessly wide, and it was a game which had very few chances, sadly, and it did end up finishing 0-0. I can't remember the last time I beat Bolton on career mode, and it's really frustrating, but even so, it was a draw, sadly, and we didn't get another win under our belt, but it's not a bad result, because as I've said, Bolton are a very difficult side to face, so I guess we've got to take the point, and we're still unbeaten at home, by the way. I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but we still haven't lost a single game at home, which is really good. But after that, we saw John Marquis is returning from Torquay on loan, and of course that does mean that we are now coming into January, as we are here in January. And we also saw that Danny Shitty got a training injury, which sucks, mainly because we do have a bit of a defensive crisis at the moment with Paul Robinson out injured as well. So Shitty's going to be out for 7 days, and we also saw Scout report on one of those players. You're going to see some Global Transfer Network in the next episode, and we also got an offer for our goalkeeper Nyland, which of course we said no. It was Celtic, and I was like, I'm not interested, so we reject that one. And we also had a player loan expired. Justin Hoyt has gone back to Middlesbrough, which is fine because I barely even used him. And as you can see here, the transfer market is now open, which means we can sign players. As I said, we don't have too many players, don't have too much money, so it's going to be hard to bring in some new players, but we're going to request some funds. That's the last thing you'll see today, and we're going to hope that the board will say yes to that, because we don't have really any money whatsoever, and yeah, we can't sign any new players whatsoever unless we sell some old ones, because we have barely any money. So we request some funds, and we'll see what the board say. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please leave likes, that's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.